Hi, folks, and welcome back to Petalburg Woods, the only podcast where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Let's talk some Pokemon. As always, this is the lovely even show where we discuss the world, people, culture even of the Pokemon Universe and the feelings that we have surrounding these lovely games. As always, I am one of your beautiful co-hosts, Droomish.
And I'm your other beautiful, lovely co-host, Capreo. How you doing?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Welcome to the woods. We're so glad you could join us. Happy New Year, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I said last episode that we would have one more out before the end of the year, and I lied in cold blood. But anyway, it's the new year. Welcome to 2026. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the year. I think some cool, I don't know, I feel it in my bones. Some cool stuff's going to happen. Maybe
I'm cautiously hopeful.
Maybe it has to do with Pokemon Pokopia.
Yeah, you're going to be the biggest Pokopia name.
I'm going to put the cope in Pokopia.
That's good. We should start saying that. That's really good.
Put the cope in Pokopia.
Yeah,
folks. Put it on a t-shirt.
Until it comes out and it's like fine. It probably will be fine, right?
I think it looks really promising, personally.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm letting myself be excited about it.
Copia Capreo. It's great to hear from you.
They don't call me Coprio for nothing.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. It's cautiously hopeful. We're gonna feel some hope instead of the abyss. We're gonna try that out instead for a spell,
etc.
Yeah, Doom, etc. It seems. I'm gonna try it. What are we?
Well, so.
Oh yeah.
So Pokopia.
Oh, good one.
Pokopia is going to be a Pokemon spinoff on the Nintendo Switch 2. And so today we're talking about the golden age of Pokemon spinoffs, which, Droomish, what era do you think that is? When do you think that transpired? The golden age?
I also I want to preface also that I feel like I'm being a little greedy with this topic. I very much picked this one and Caprio was being nice to me about it.
I'm excited to talk about it.
This is just I don't know, my shit, so to speak, to use the biblical term for it.
Yeah. That's in the Bible for sure.
I think that just something happened on the DS. So it's not exactly the Gen 3, and it's absolutely Gen 4, but it's not exactly Gen 5 either. It's some mishmash of the three of them. And I would just like to, I don't know, if you're not going to call it Golden Age, it's just some phenomenon regarding maybe the Pokemon was vertically expanding, maybe is a way to put it, but then they just have this crazy horizontal expansion seemingly all at once, tied around the DS, and there's just series after series that are showing up, entire series existing on the DS. There's all these Ranger games, there's all these Mystery Dungeon games, Rumble is there.
Rumble is there.
Rumble is there. Let's start on the Wii. I don't know. Rumble has an interesting. We'll talk about Rumble heads. I know that there's a lot of Rumble fans in our audience, but I don't know. Just the phenomenon, because I just like these games. I like a lot of these games. I've been relatively outspoken online about Ranger and Mystery Dungeon. I particularly like Guardian Signs, but I think culturally something shifted during this period that led to, hey, let's just make Pokemon whatever for 1,000 different times. And that's what we're gonna lay into. But first, you know it's my favorite. I have a pretty good one this time. What are we playing and doing lately?
Do you want to go first?
Tell me what's been going on. Well, I get to go first.
If you want, go for it.
Okay. I mean, I have been... I would dare say that I've been enjoying shiny hunting lately. I just get on the phone, watch TV. It's just it's simple. It's nice. I feel like a modest, humble little farmer in the fields, looking for my ever elusive crops. I'm looking for Maractus on stream. And in my personal life, I've been hoping to get a starter in Harkold. Like I was playing it a little bit on a plane, playing a little bit in the car. It's just nice. It's nice every now and then.
Do you have an idea of how many starters you've seen in Harkold Soul Silver so far?
I don't know. Like it's so casual. It's like I've been doing this for like almost maybe a month now, and it's if greater than 300, like it's not possible. I feel like I would be lying. It's very, very chill. I guess I did it a lot at a bar that I went to. I was her. I was the girl with the DS at the bar, and I took a picture, and I was like, this is what they do. They look for the shinies at the bar. This is the thing that happens. They talk about it on the internet, and people get really, really mad when they see the Game Boy at the bar. My favorite parts. It's just nice. But then I think probably more spectacularly for me, because I don't know, I've just been not feeling up to it. But this involves playing a lot of Pokemon and like researching Pokemon and feeling like I'm in the environment, I guess. I have fully broken ground on a new like feature-length Droomish production that is going pretty swimmingly, and it has me playing a lot of Gen 3, 4, and 5. And I just like being in the world. And while that is kind of like, I don't know, I'm bringing, I don't know, would like, you know, like you bring work or something to the soccer game or something, whatever. Maybe that's my work and I'm like taking it off the field or something. However, I like half know so many sayings.
Right.
I know so many sayings almost, but because I think I was imagining the soccer field, like taking it to the soccer field, but you're supposed to leave it on the field. That's what they say. It's leaving it.
Leave it all on the field. Yeah.
Leave it on the field. Leave it all on the field.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We found the saying.
We got there.
I don't know, but it's just nice. And it's also like I don't know. I just like, I haven't been felt up to making a whole one, you know, the whole Doom, etc. thing. So it's nice to play Pokemon and be like, I don't know, in that mindset of like hyper analyst that I am. Because somebody was telling me last night, I was streaming, she was streaming once again, and they were like complaining about how little lore Pokemon gives. It's like, oh, Pokemon lore, give us nothing, girl, please. And I know. We were specifically talking about like Karen and Will in Johto. I know the face that you're making, but okay, that's fair, right?
That's fair. Yep. That's
fair. And I was like, you're right, but that little piece of lore that they give, I am going to hyper analyze it. Like I'm going to turn that molehill into a mountain like you've never seen before.
Yeah.
And you know, that got some snaps. I was like, yeah, that's like, it just feels good.
I wonder if Will and Lorelei are somehow related. Like maybe if Will is Lorelei's like little brother or something. I don't know.
I think you should look long and hard online, because there's a theory that I don't particularly want to say. So
okay,
you should read about it.
Does it have something to do with them being the same person?
Yeah.
Cool.
LOL.
I like that a lot. Because I thought about that too.
Surprise.
The main thing I guess was like at least Will's Gen 2 sprite. They did not maintain this in Harkold Soul Silver, but Will's Gen 2 sprite, he has red hair.
Indeed. Yeah. I think that's the theory. A game theory.
And
thanks for watching.
Sorry to Matt Pat all over this podcast. Cool.
Yeah.
So you've been
it's just nice.
You've been loving life?
That might be a strong way of putting it.
Okay,
but
sorry. You've been
having fun. I don't like just I love media. I love analyzing. It's nice. Listener, dear listener, I'm talking to you specifically. You should watch something or consume something and then think about it. And I think you'll have a really good time. That's a pretty awesome little activity that you engage in. Consume a media and then think about it. One of my favorite things, in fact.
Wow.
Yeah, really groundbreaking shit that I'm doing. All right, what have you been doing now that you're done with Dragon Quest?
Yeah.
Being Dragon Questler over here.
I haven't moved on to Dragon Quest 1 yet. That'll maybe be something I do. I say in the new year, I guess to pull the curtain back a bit, we're still recording in 2025.
No, it's the new year right now.
But
Happy New Year.
It's the new year. Happy New Year. I have been, I don't know, I've been playing Balatro again here and there. And I was streaming Blue Rescue Team. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
The
Blue Rescue Team is so good.
Yeah. And I've played through Red Rescue Team a number of times, but this was my first time playing through specifically Blue Rescue Team. And I really enjoyed having the second screen there for just like info at a glance. They don't utilize it like a ton. You can play, like the action happens on the bottom screen in Blue Rescue Team. And so you can use the stylus and like tap a tile and your guys will move to that tile in like whatever way they can, rather than you just like moving using the D-pad, which I didn't know.
I had no idea that either. Probably like works terribly because they like the NPC AI is like, I think we should walk towards the Tropius or something. Like it's pretty much that entire game. At least what it feels in the main story. It's like the escorts are like, actually, I think we should fight Groudon.
Yeah.
Like that's the struggle of that game.
But it was, I don't know, it was just like fun to rip through that game pretty quick, just like on a new system in a new way, with some like additional quality of life stuff. And it's nice too for our conversation today to have that game more fresh in my brain. I played Red Rescue Team when they added it to Switch Online, and friendly reminder, if you pay for Switch Online and you have the Game Boy Advance collection, then you can play Red Rescue Team right now, and you should if you haven't. That's an excellent entry into that. And it's I find it fascinating that they even put it on the Switch Online collection when the remake exists as a Switch game.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
And
it's really nice.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I wonder, I truly, like, if they ever, I mean, they put out the OG on Switch Online well after the remake had already come out. So maybe they figured they made all of the sales that they were going to make, but still, it's a rare consumer positive play for them, you know? Anyway.
Yeah, Nintendo had a sale. Can you believe it? They had a sale.
And just before we started recording, I was playing XD Gale of Darkness, and I was trying to beat Ore Coliseum. And I beat a couple of rounds, but I got quite stuck. I got to round 6, and holy shit, it might be the hardest thing in Gen 3 is beating Ore Coliseum. I bashed my head against the wall.
It's a nightmare. It's you need to pull out all the stops. I've the not practice, like the tech that you have to whip out. You need to have a omnipotent team almost. Mm-hmm. It feels like.
I think the fact that it's doubles makes it a lot harder. But the thing that I like about it more than I think, like, say the battle tower in the Emerald Frontier, for instance, is the teams are always set, like, for every round. Like, I know what the teams are now for round 6, right? And so I can prepare and adjust my team accordingly, which I like, rather than just like going into the battle tower, for instance, and you have like a rough idea of like the good Pokemon that you can expect and like how to deal with them. But other than the Frontier Brains, really, every other fight on your way to them is something completely different every single time. And so you can prepare to an extent, but what I like about Ore Coliseum is you can prepare like exactly for what you can expect. So like the big thing, I think, the Pokemon that I'm using, they're all level 100 across the board, and they're all Pokemon that would succeed in a singles format in like the Emerald Tower, for instance. But in this doubles format where moves like Protect are a lot more valuable, for instance.
Yeah.
They are not particularly well equipped for that, unfortunately. So I just kind of I did basically the noob thing where I just shoved 6 Pokemon, it's just legendaries and pseudos, basically. And I just shoved 6 of them on a team together and said, that'll do. That'll be good enough.
Yeah, that's going to go hard.
But there's no doubles specific strategies or, anything along those lines. So I definitely need to adjust. It worked. The team worked for the first 5 rounds. But there's 2 more to go, and they're quite tricky. If you're curious, I guess you could look up the teams in XD's Ore Coliseum, or if you've never done it before, I might even recommend going in blind. I'm sure next year, again, another shout out for Switch Online. Sorry, I'm a shill. They're planning to add both Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness to the GameCube collection. So if you've never played those games before and you, I don't know, don't want to emulate them, or obviously they're quite expensive to get physical nowadays, you could just wait until they're added to Switch Online. And I think there's a lot of good to experience in both of those games. XD in particular, with the battle CDs, battle bingo is a lot of fun. And yeah, Ore Coliseum is a hell of a mountain to try to climb, but I like it. I like that it's kind of this final big challenge at the end of my Gen 3 crusade.
Mm-hmm.
And then in February, I'm going to be starting Gen 4 with Pokemon Diamond, and I cannot express how excited I am to start Gen 4. I'm really looking forward to it. I've been thinking about it for years. I can't wait.
You really have.
So.
Yeah. This is a monumentous occasion, folks. He's been doing this for a really long time. Really, really, really long time.
Yeah.
I do like Ore Coliseum, though. All those little extra things in XD and Coliseum, they make me so happy, because it's it's that's the Pokemon's Pokemon. If you don't like this, maybe you don't like Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
But not often do I hear complaints with the battle CDs and the tournament mode in these 2 games. So
yeah,
I think we're mostly clear. If you hate them, don't say it. Okay, just let me enjoy my silly Chungus little life. Okay.
I love the battle CDs. I would love for something similar to come back. And honestly, when Champions comes out, I think the battle CDs would suit Champions as a teaching tool exceptionally well, to have these these battle puzzles teach you specific niche mechanics. So smart. Anyway, they won't do it, but
yeah,
it'd be sick if they did.
It would be nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good idea. Spin-offs of Pokemon.
Spin-offs. Do we need to say what a spin-off is? Do we need to say what constitutes a spin-off?
There's it's a media thing, but I guess in Pokemon it's a touchy subject. It is as they insist that XD and Coliseum are spin-offs.
I agree.
I don't, but
okay.
Let's.
And now we have a podcast, folks. We've got a whole episode right there.
Yeah. So they have okay. I think it's I don't know, some continuation of a media, I guess, is. I'm trying to think of what is another thing with a spin-off that is normal. Because Pokemon, I love Pokemon, but it's very much not normal. In this way, they're this is a spin-off, and this is not a spin-off. This is a different type of spin-off. That's not helpful. That's not helpful. That's not the Dewey Decimal System. That's not helpful organization.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, when you see it, but for the most part, it's just a game that has Pikachu in it, but doesn't have the gameplay of the main games. But then do you need to explain what the mainline games? That's another it when you see it. But it's a media thing. They take a character or a component of it and they give it a new light or something. Right.
For some reason. Yeah. Great. Recontextualization.
Recontextualize it.
Yeah. Great word. I'm thinking you're really going to have to bear with me here. This is the first one that came to my mind. Spy Kids. You love Spy Kids. We love Spy Kids.
We love Spy Kids.
do you actually like Spy Kids?
I remember we watched one of the movies.
Oh yeah, I did make you watch that. We watched Spy Kids 3 Game Over.
Yeah,
Elijah Wood was there.
That's the one. That's the one where
he was the guy.
He was the guy.
He was the guy.
Yeah.
And then the Spy Kids. So the uncle on Spy Kids, he has a spin-off movie. Did you know that?
I did not know this.
They have Uncle Machete, and there's a series of movies called Machete that is like just it's so barely related to Spy Kids, but they're like, what if we took this character and put him in a new situation? Let's recontextualize him.
It's the same guy though, still.
It is. It's Danny Trejo the entire time, and he does crazy action movie things. And the movie's also rated R, going off of Spy Kids, but life is pretty awesome for the Spy Kids heads, I'll say. But
so now for Pokemon, they were like, what if Pikachu was in a pinball machine? What if you had to take pictures of Pikachu? What if you spoke to Pikachu using a microphone? and so on.
And it's like I we don't have to mince words. It's fucking fun. Like Pokemon is awesome. Pokemon is an RPG. I want Pokemon in different contexts. But I don't know, at the beginning, and you made a really good point about this, either in the notes or just when we were talking before this, because like in Gen 1, they really made a name for themselves with the spin-offs, because that's the Pokemon pandemonium. That's when that's happening. The spin-offs are Pokemon is just so crazy happening, so let's just do just so much Pokemon, right? Like, and there's all the hits, like you said, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Pinball, Pokemon Stadium, all these things. I mean, at this point, like, I don't know, they're almost like, I would borderline call some of these games like accessories to the experience. Like, I don't want to degrade these games anyway, but like Hey You Pikachu is such a supplementary piece of Pokemon content, and Pokemon Stadium is almost an accessory to Red, Blue, and Yellow in a certain way of like, hey, this is kind of the same engine, but now you can watch it in 3D and it's pretty awesome in like a movie, stuff like that.
I think a big part of the spinoffs in Generation 1, 2, some of them are based on the show even more than they're based on the games. Like both Hey You Pikachu and Pokemon Puzzle League. Like Pokemon Puzzle League is Ash and Misty and Brock and Team Rocket.
Oh yeah, that's a great point.
It's not Red and Co, you know, but Stadium absolutely. Like some of these spinoffs are more closely tied to the mainline game. Stadium is an excellent example of that. And then some spinoffs I think exist on their own. And to me in Generation 1, that's Snap, that's Pinball, that's the trading card game for Game Boy, where they still include like, or they still use Pokemon as like the basis. But the actual like core gameplay of these games, it is very separate from the mainline, but the core gameplay stands on its own, makes these games like good on their own. Mechanically separate from the Pikachu of it all. Does that make sense? Like these are just good games.
It does make sense, but I don't know. I think I like half disagree or something. Or no. Maybe it's like just like an extension of what you're saying. This yes, exactly. Because I guess I was going to ask, and I feel like that is almost your answer. I feel like you kind of outwitted me. Sort of, you're always one step ahead. Well, I was going to ask, it's like, oh, we're just talking about spinoffs, but it's like, why do spinoffs matter? Like, why is this important? And I think you kind of like, you just jumped into that, like a well done writer.
Well, especially in Generation 1, when Red and Blue and Yellow looked like that, having the opportunity
they looked like that, by the way.
They looked like that, dude. Like,
have you seen Charmander from behind? Yeah, it's not a great look, folks.
Having the opportunity to see them, especially in 3D, in color, on the N64, on the big screen, was a big deal. It was the biggest deal then, bigger than it ever was again. Was just like the visual aspect of it, just to aim to be more immersive, aim to be closer to what the show looked like, especially. That's
a really good point about the show, because I was like I feel like I'm maybe just putting to a word what you're saying right now is like spin-offs for any media, like I guess a spin-off that is well received. And I think for the most part, like Pokemon has a really clean track record with spin-offs in general. I think there has been slop more recently that we will talk about in due time and a little bit today. Like there is some slop, but especially, I mean, up until a certain point, these are they're generally standout. I know that like I feel like the complaint that I hear the most often about games like Mystery Dungeon is like, oh, this gameplay loop is so stale. But like, if you like it and you like Pokemon, like there's a reason why Mystery Dungeon is such a cult hit, while also, the gameplay loop is incredibly repetitive. It is very much a loop. But at the same time, I think you get something experiential, which is what you're saying, of like not just making this a world. And like that was, I don't know, the thing with the show, it's like that's really making me like go like have some appreciation for this. But like Pokemon becomes a universe with stuff like, or any media franchise, it becomes this universe that you can sink into. And I think this is kind of, I don't know, I don't want to put too much on the shoulders of spin-offs, but like spin-offs are like almost like the beginning of culture for a media property of like, I don't know, with like I guess I'm gonna like not pick on, but just like single out Snap here for a second of like, this is the same Pokemon, but just like, let's do it a different way. Let's think about it a different way and make the world maybe a little bit deeper. Or and when I say world, like I'm like, I don't know, like the cinematic universe, if you will, the what is Pokemon as like a proper noun. And I don't know, that's when like, I guess a life happens. Like it's so much less one dimensional now. And I think that's exactly what you were saying also, but just like, this is I guess the beginning of it becoming something, or maybe this is like a core piece in when something becomes more than just a game, and it's like something that you can maybe live inside of, or like, I don't know, like Pokemon's case, like it became this huge multimedia franchise that is like really like a part, I mean, borderline a part of everyday life now. Like I feel like I could not, even if I was like avoiding it, like how far could I get not seeing Pokemon? Like at this point, right? Like I go to the store or something and it's like, hi, I'm Pokemon. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah, I don't think like Pokemon as a whole it wouldn't even be as close to as successful as it is if they never made any spin-offs. They totally and successfully supported the mainline games by like fully fleshing out the world, letting you interact with the creatures more and in cool and like fun ways. Snap in particular, Snap did a ton of heavy lifting for making these guys feel so much more like alive and real, and you can transplant that.
Watch them.
Like you're playing Pokemon Red after you play Pokemon Snap, and you see a Diglett or whatever. Like you have so much more context for like how this creature behaves. And now, like in the simplest form in Pokemon Red, you have so much more like appreciation for Diglett based on how you saw it perform. Same thing for the stadium games, adding all of the people love to, bring up the animations and stuff of the stadium games, and for good reason, because they injected so much like personality into 150 creatures. That again, you bring into, and you just like have that added context, exactly like the show, exactly like the cards. If you saw any of the Pokemon in a cool stance or in a cool like environment or whatever, all of that is going to like shape your perception of what these guys are, so that when again you encounter them in the bare bones version, which is the mainline version, right? The thing that's supposed to matter the most, you have so much more added like context and so much more like appreciation for what these guys are.
Yeah.
So
like I'm looking at these 18 pixels that are Diglett, and I'm like, wow, that's actually awesome. Like now, looking at this little lump in the ground, like wow.
I know what that guy sounds like for real, not just like the cursed like Game Boy vomit. That are their early cries. I know how it acts.
Yeah, now Diglett's a real person.
All that Diglett's a whole guy. Anyway, so yeah, I think especially early, the spin-offs were very important, and they made a lot of them, and they made them different. And they did not iterate on many of them, certainly. Generation 2 rolls around, we got a new stadium. We got a portable version of Puzzle League and Puzzle Challenge for the Game Boy. And they did make a sequel to the trading card game for Game Boy, but it was a Japanese exclusive game. That was it.
It's a pretty lackluster gen. I don't know. That's like, also in hindsight, that's very odd. Like it feels odd. Like, I don't know, just like the way because Gen 2 was so, I don't know, like world buildy, I guess. Like everything was cute, accessorizing. There's so many, I guess maybe it was a little unfair of us in the way that we listed this. Well, no, it's not, but it's like those little like there was like the Pokemon Pikachu pocket thing, like the early Pokewalker. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep. Yeah,
that was a thing.
The mini.
There was the mini also. But it's just, yeah, and maybe those are arguably spin-offs, but
right, yeah, it's just not it's just not a game for a console, but it is its own peripheral to like attempt to achieve a similar thing for sure. And
I don't know, this one just like might be like nostalgia blinds and was like barely around. I was like, I guess maybe like beginning to be cognizant of any of this like right before Ruby and Sapphire came out. So at least in my memory, like the merchandising was going pretty crazy around this point also, of like, we can make toys and lots of them. How awesome is that? And that's happening a lot during this period. But I don't know, it's just, you write the list like this, it's so odd to only see like 3 games, like games for Gen 2. And I don't know, maybe it's just like Gen 2 woes. I know there's a lot of stuff going on at that time, but
I think Stadium 2 does a lot of that heavy lifting because it is really cool and good. And like the mini games in it, especially, are like Mario Party level good, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's such a good game. Stadium 2 is so good.
To just have those exist in a Pokemon battle sim, like they haven't done that since. Which is sorely missed, I think. But yeah, it was sparse for Gen 2.
Yeah, but that. So anyway, that I guess that was the prologue. That was all prologue to what we're actually discussing.
There's a little bit of a history.
Yeah, or I guess like, I don't know, to have a golden era, we kind of have to have like, I don't know, the shit before it. Maybe I don't know. It's like history mechanics or something. I don't know. I don't do history because my philosophy is I'll just learn it for myself because it repeats itself famously. After that though, this is the golden era. I mean, like starting, like, I don't know, we organize it by gen as we often like to do, but I think that there's really something to be said for the systems.
Totally. Yeah. I'm with you.
So it wasn't immediate, which that's just the one exception I'm making. So like, I know we're jumping to Gen 3, but it's like, it's not just Gen 3. Things like started picking up. There's a couple Game Boy games that were pretty exciting, and I guess GameCube games also. But just, this is when it began, I guess, was in this time period. They got, I don't know, just what do you think? Like I feel like that's a begin. So, I said this near the beginning. Just the spinoff started exploding, kind of. What do you think happened? There's so many. So I guess, and I preface this a tiny bit. Like we're getting into this era. Gen 3 now there's 6 spinoffs in Gen 3, 6 in Gen 4, and 6 again in Gen 5, and these are all kind of like revolving around the DS system also. And this is in addition to the normal games also. Like that's like this is like this explosion of games. I don't know, just like I guess like as like a preface question, what do you think was going on? Like why?
So in Generation 3, Generation 3 happened where there was this overlap of systems. Like Generation 3 happened over the course of like 2 systems, basically. And I know what you're thinking, that like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Leaf Green only came out on the Game Boy Advance, but the spin-offs continued into the beginning of the Nintendo DS's life. And that's because Emerald came out and then the DS came out like pretty soon after that, right? Like the Game Boy Advance's like life cycle was actually quite short, and then the DS came out and replaced it. And so there were a handful of spin-offs now that were put onto the DS that still only featured Generation 3 Pokemon. They did take the opportunity to start to tease some Generation 4 Pokemon, like Munchlax being in Pokemon Dash, Lucario being referenced in Red and Blue Mystery Dungeon, Red and Blue Rescue Team. But these games still are like within the third generation. And so the games on the DS that were still in Gen 3 are Troze, Dash, and Blue Rescue Team, where Red Rescue Team was on the Game Boy Advance. Blue Rescue Team, almost like a version, like they put out two versions of the same game the way that they had for Red and Blue, Gold and Silver. They had now done this for a spin-off for the first time, which is notable. And they did the whole version exclusive thing with these Mystery Dungeon games. But the big thing is that one of them was on the Game Boy Advance and one of them was on the Nintendo the Nintendo DS.
This is a super sophisticated point. This is like, I think you're on the pulse. Like you have immediately drilled to the core of like what's going on. This is very interesting.
They made version exclusives of spin-offs, Droomish. They made Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire, which is a single game. It's not like Pokemon Pinball Ruby.
But it's like there, though.
And then Pokemon Pinball Sapphire. But in the game, they have two boards. They have the Ruby board and the Sapphire board. So they're starting to lean into this idea of the version exclusives can also, the two versions basically is what I'm trying to say. That can also be a thing for the spinoffs, and maybe the spinoffs can, instead of them just being a one-off the way that they had been so far, except again for Stadium, really, the trading card game, which again we did not get in the West, and Puzzle Challenge, while being a sequel to League, to me is really just an excuse to put that kind of game on the Game Boy instead. I don't know if you think about Puzzle Challenge as a sequel.
I don't think about it that often. I don't.
No.
Very rarely do I wake up and say it's time to think about Pokemon Puzzle Challenge today. Yeah. Actually, I don't think that's ever happened to me.
It's a great game with great sprites, but
it has really cute sprites. It's some of the cutest sprites I've ever seen. Oh my god!
But maybe not the most popular spinoff.
Yeah.
And then they had a couple other games on the GameCube, and I think of these much more as apps. These are hardly video games. Pokemon Box, that's just extra storage. Pokemon Channel, that's fun to watch TV.
Pokemon Channel, people have done it. Like I've seen this YouTube video before. It's such a fascinating case study.
Yeah.
Channel is like, is it because it's like very much just an ad for the TV show, but if you choose to consume it as a game, I think it can be a fascinating piece of media. It's very much just clips from the show, and you're like role playing as a child who enjoys the show, which I didn't know required a role play if you're a fan of Pokemon. So
yeah, it's escapism to a world where you can afford all of the Pokemon merch.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Wow.
And depending on how you look at it, there was Coliseum and XE Yellow Darkness on the GameCube as well. But those are closer to mainline games, I think, if we look at it maybe as like a spectrum. And I don't think they should be included in what we're talking about today. For what it's worth. Yeah.
But I don't know, everything is just, I guess, just more experiences. Like there's still drops in the bucket regardless. Yep. Or they're just they're just more fuel on the fire of just like Pokemon is this giant encompassing experience, right? Of just, we have so many games now. And
they're another example of them taking a spinoff. Pardon me. I got my hands up. Okay, don't shoot.
Okay, just tell the damn story. All right,
taking a spin-off and then giving it a sequel is something that they did with those games. So that's all.
Exactly. Well, so okay, that was the other thing with this is I think in this era, and like I do want to really like centralize. Okay, now that like I guess you have made like that description, I want to even more centralize around the DS. I mean, the thing about the Game Boy flowing in the DS, like you were saying about red and blue, is like I fully think that is the pulse of this. Of like, I guess in some ways they just kind of figured that they could. I mean, they just made two of the same game and they were on two different systems and it worked. Mm-hmm. And hey, let's do it. Like, let's just, I don't know, like this Pokemon's Pokemon. I guess maybe it was like a testing period or something. But then the serialization of spin-offs is the really standout thing, because that was happening a little bit. There was like a stadium game every gen, and that was a mainstay. And there was TCG2, that was a sequel, and there was the Puzzle Challenge was a sequel. But there are, we're a freaking podcast. This is not a Droomish video or the Library of Alexandria. I'm gonna get these numbers wrong at least. Capreo will probably do a better job. But like there's almost in one generation, there's 3 Ranger games that are all in the same system, that are all like in the same sub world, kind of. I just like that's unbelievable to me that there is a second, like, I don't know, a continuum almost, because Ranger is so barely canon to what Pokemon is. It is very hard for me to believe that the world of, I don't know, unless it's like an actual culture wars going on within the universe of being able to square away like, oh, the Fiore region actually exists in the same universe as Kanto. They just have really different cultural ideas about how to handle Pokemon. One of them thinks we should kill them and the other one thinks that we should cherish them. Like I just don't think that Ranger can like canonically like it's not even worth thinking about is what I'm saying. Like I could write some really good fan fiction,
sure, but they're separate.
Yeah, and it's like it's something that had to stand on its own. Or I mean, I guess not. Well, that's really stupid to say because it's Pokemon. But it's like this is like at a certain point, it's like, when is this? These are the Ranger games, and we're like coming to expect them as Ranger games, and it's like, yeah, Pokemon is there, but this has this gameplay loop, because that's, I guess it
really does have a gameplay
loop. Great job with that one. 5 big boings.
Sorry, just had to circle back.
Wow, really good. More boings. Because they're games, so like I don't know, like I said, like the stupid Spy Kids thing. It's like at the very least, with each of these, even if they're in different genres, and they're like vaguely in different genres, one of them's a kid movie, one of them is not. But it's like I'm watching a movie the entire time, right? Like, I don't know, maybe this doesn't make any damn sense, but like with games, though, I can have a like Animal Crossing versus like, I don't know, Tekken or something. They are both games, but I am doing something very different in both of these experiences and thinking very different things. Like the manual input from me is much different, right? And so that is always going to be the case here, but it's like, I don't know, once they both, like the Pokemon mainline is serialized and now Mystery Dungeon is serialized, Ranger is serialized, it's like the experiences are so much more on display. I think I'm kind of grasping it. I think I have a point. Maybe I'm grasping at straws here. You know, it's like in Scott Pilgrim when the thing is like in between I have to pee and I miss you, or whatever he says.
Well, I think, yeah, the thing that made the 4th generation of spin-offs special was, I think, just like the sheer amount of it all. Like they were like, the output was absurd. And people asking now for like, oh, can we get something in this series? Like, this is no longer an accessory. Mystery Dungeon is something that people ask for. Like the absurdity led to their own iconography, I guess, of like Mystery Dungeon is an object now that while Pokemon is in it, it was created so frequently that Mystery Dungeon is Mystery Dungeon. There is a part of Mystery Dungeon that is independent to itself. Does that make sense? Like, it's something that I would not say for like, I guess, Hey You Pikachu, which is like very, very much it's supplementary. That's what I was calling it. Yeah. Where Mystery Dungeon can absolutely hang on its own, where to the point where like someone might not even know that the mainline Pokemon games exist, Pokemon to them could only be Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky, for instance. And like that would be fine because that is an excellent way to experience Pokemon as an idea.
I frequently wake up and think about Explorers of Sky. Unlike Puzzle Challenge, that happens all the time, actually.
And the thing too that sets this particular like generation apart from the rest of the spinoffs, both before and after, is the quality. And these are games that are the most like fondly remembered and sought after. The Mystery Dungeon Explorers games, particularly Explorers of Sky, is probably the best entry in the Mystery Dungeon series, at least for Pokemon. All of the Ranger games happened on the DS, so there isn't really a lot to compare against, I guess, because they all happened in the same place. But even like for something as simple as Pokemon storage, probably the best way that they ever handled storage and made it fun was My Pokemon Ranch on the Wii. Like Box was like incredibly utilitarian, and so is Home also. But both of the to me there's three. There's Box on the GameCube. There's Home on Bank and Home, I guess, but Bank and Home are extremely similar. Ranch made it fun and interactive, and like Sartosi Toes likes to put it, like an aquarium where you could watch your Pokemon if you wanted to. And that was in the fourth generation.
So
it's like
interesting.
They were being their most creative, and maybe part of that was the hardware allowed for it, like the touch screen of the DS told them to.
And the Wii is just awesome,
right?
The Wii is the Wii, but like it's the Wii, like.
Yeah. But I don't know, something about the Wii and their philosophy towards it and the games that they wanted to put on it and the people they thought were going to use it led to Ranch versus Box and Bank and Home being, this is for Pokemon fans, diehard Pokemon fans. We're going to catch thousands of these guys to just store their guys here. And not necessarily for like, I don't know, someone to just like watch the Rumble models of their Pokemon dance around on their TV sometimes. Does that make sense? Like one. Well,
they had to they fully had to make different sales also. But I mean, because these were okay, the DS to a slightly less extent, but still absolutely, it's like these were the family consoles for one. And you make such a, like, I remember very specifically seeing Pokemon Ranch on the Wii Shop channel, and like you're making me think of this now, but like there were probably some gears like this turning at the time of like they had to make this sale of like aquarium game versus like, I don't know, like just I don't know, Mario or something like right. This game versus Mario 64, and it's like, oh, which one am I going to pick? I have to, like, how are they going to get the family to pick the Pokemon storage game?
Right.
And it's like in the ecosystem of the Wii Shop channel, because that was where it was exclusively sold also, which I feel like is pretty relevant context of, I mean, who they're compelling. And then it's like, I don't know, almost poetic in a way that when that was the goal, they made the best games. Ranch, given all of the context that you just said, I would describe Ranch fully as a miracle game. It is frankly, I find it unbelievable that it exists and that it was ever thought to be made, and it like just function as the way that it does, given the way that everything works, right? And like everything that you just said is probably why it was made that way. And it's like, oh, we have to make it like sillier and family friendlier, maybe.
Like,
and
it needs to incorporate the Miis somehow. Okay, well, how are we going to do that? How are we going to get the Miis and the Pokemon together on the same screen? I think like the Miis existing means that you're not just seeing your Pokemon in PC boxes anymore. Like strictly, again, the way that you do in Box and Bank and Home. And now, because Miis have to be incorporated, well, they got to be walking around. And so where are they going to walk around? In a 3D space. I may as well put the Pokemon in there also. and have that be a lot of fun to watch and interact with. And I think still have some interactions between Pokemon that you put into Ranch like yet to be documented or something. Like they put a lot of stuff into Ranch, which is absurd, but I love that they did it.
Yeah.
And they
I'll never stop loving it.
Currently, it doesn't seem like they will do it again.
We might be past that, as we as a people might unfortunately be past shit like that, but
and speaking of
I'm not.
Speaking of Ranch and speaking of the Wii Shop channel, Super Mario RPG, Pokemon Rumble.
I reckon.
You reckon? Pokemon Rumble came out. This was the beginning of Pokemon Rumble.
It was, and Rumble is, I don't know. Do you have a take on Rumble? I don't want to say something untoward right now.
I played Rumble so much as a kid. Me and my friend Alex would play Rumble for hours and hours and hours, and it was so fun. And I played Rumble again as an adult, and it's a tough sell when your imagination is gone. But at least when I was like 10, Rumble hit for sure. But admittedly, it's not something that I rush back to.
Well, wait until you hear about Rumble Rush, and then you'll be rushing. Maybe I've never played that, but it exists.
I think. Are we too late for Rush? I think we're too late for Rush.
We might be. I don't know. Is it discontinued? Is that like at the point where the games are getting discontinued? That sucks.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I guess so. Rumble is a series that, for whatever reason, seemed to have some massive staying power, and it started just really hitting the bricks at this generation. Mm-hmm. They have Rumble, and then Rumble Blast comes out, and Rumble U comes out in the same generation, mm-hmm. and there are many Rumbles. I'm gonna go back to like the Rumble series. There are 5 games in the Rumble series, which is just, I don't think but that's okay. Some of them these are like mini game territory, like especially the first Rumble. It was only like what, like it was maybe a $10 game by Wii Shop channel standards.
I think so, yeah, give or take.
It was either 800 or 1,000. We're in the $10 range. Points. These are yeah. We need to stock up on Wii Shop points. That's gonna be the next like bonds right there. These are this is mini game territory, but they were fully published games, and like I remember Rumble Blast was a full 3DS game that my mom paid the full $30 for. Thank you, Mom. That game was fun. But that is 5 games in a, like, I don't know, the imagination of an imagination. I think Rumble is particularly interesting because it's like somebody playing toys with Pokemon. Like, it's almost, I don't know, poetic in a way.
It was Melee adjacent for sure.
Yeah.
Where like they had the thing of like them like twisting the thing on the back of the toy.
Yeah, you see them twist the tops. It's kind of stunning that there are 5 games in this series.
In the Rumble series,
even if they're mini, even if they're mini or whatever. Some of them are full, some of them are not. Mm-hmm. Again, it's like you could just be a Rumble fan, and while very strange, that would work. Like mm-hmm. that could be your series. You could say, I'm a big Rumble head, and it all started happening around this time. I mean, because like I don't know, I'm like, I guess why that is so mind blowing to me is like, as far as like context goes, like I can think of games that I love to pieces that only have 3 or 4 games in this entire like Paper Mario. I guess Paper Mario is maybe becoming a bad example, but like. I actually know Paper Mario is fine. Of like that's yeah. I guess I don't know. Maybe that is ultimately a bad example. But like I don't know, Wii Sports maybe, or there are games like this. I swear to God, I'm like in like media hell right now. But like that could be an entire independent IP series that people love. And there's 4 or 5. There's 3 to 5. There's 3 to 5 games in it. And Pokemon has a Pokemon of Pokemon that is that entire size by itself. Mm-hmm. I find this very significant. I find this very significant. That's all. Like, should have stunned silence between the two of us because I'm freaking out about Pokemon Rumble right now. But it's like, just that's ridiculous to me that Rumble could be that way, and Pokemon has. And I guess when these were happening was this gen, like the Rumble phenomenons. Ranger has 3. How many? I'm also I need a Mystery Dungeon's got. Okay. If we're not lumping together Time and Darkness with Sky, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 games in Mystery Dungeon, and that's why. And this is far beyond the reach of the DS and the Gen 5 or whatever. But like, I don't know. This is just when it was happening.
Yeah,
I guess of like the golden age, if you will.
Mm-hmm. And I will. I think these series all like started here is the thing that's like particularly notable. And I don't know, I think part of that has to do with the systems that these games were designed for. Plus, I don't know. I mean, well, I don't know. Generation 4, like Pokemon Mania in general was obviously at its biggest during Generation 1, and then it was just on like a gradual decline with a big drop off after Generation 2. There were a ton of kids who played Gen 1, played Gen 2, and then they got to an age where they were quote unquote too old to play Ruby and Sapphire, right? And so there was a big drop off. There were still kids like our age who were getting Generation 3 and 4 these were our first games, right? But I think for the most part, Pokemon, like just generally, it was still very big, still very profitable, but not nearly as big as it was at its peak. And so it's fascinating that they were still like trying shit and like making these spinoffs and making a lot of them just to see like if anything would like help maybe, or I don't know, maybe they were just like Pokemon, like the creatures themselves are strong enough designs and it is a strong enough IP that like they can make a game that doesn't take maybe as many resources, and based on the strength of the IP itself, the game can sell relatively well. Like I feel like Rumble, for instance, on the Wii Shop, even though it was priced pretty low, probably like did really well, partly because it was priced low. It was a Pokemon experience on your Wii. So if you didn't get Battle Revolution or Pokepark, for instance, at least you had Rumble and you could play that on the big screen. It was a multiplayer game, which I think helps as well. So there was a lot, I think, lending to why these games were made, in spite of like maybe the lack of general Pokemon popularity at the time. And Pokemon has always been popular, but just comparatively to when it first started, and it was ginormous and it was everywhere. And I mentioned Pokepark. That's I think maybe an underrated spinoff. It is certainly for like a younger demographic, maybe compared to like Mystery Dungeon, I think is maybe for like a little bit older. Even the Ranger games might even be for like a little bit older of a demographic, just because the constantly drawing circles, especially later in those games, is admittedly.
I love drawing circles. I love it.
It can get pretty tricky. But Pokepark was like for like the younger sibling to introduce them to a game and let them move around in a 3D space that, similar to like a Pokemon Snap, put Pokemon in like a natural environment. But instead of playing as a human, taking photos of them, instead you got to play as Pikachu and like interact with other Pokemon and like speak to them. And that, I think, it was part of the appeal with the Mystery Dungeon games as well, is getting to play as Pokemon. Same thing with the Rumble games, getting their toy versions, but still you're getting to play as Pokemon. That was another shift that hadn't really been done, is like,
true.
You're not playing as a human in these spinoffs. You're playing as Pokemon, whether they're like mini or toys, or they're full size and in their own world and their own environment.
They're on a rescue team. They're going to rescue you.
Exactly. I think that was a big part of the spin-off like identity, was like getting to be the Pokemon instead of being a human.
There was a lot of and I like know this non-nostalgically because like I pour over these sometimes, just like research of, there was a lot of promotional work went to the point that you're making. Like the commercials about Mystery Dungeon didn't really discuss the gameplay or what you would be doing in any way, shape, or form. It was like, holy shit, you are Pokemon? This is awesome. Buy my game. And like the commercials, like as like these like kids, I think it was for the Gen 4 ones, Explorers of Darkness and Time. Like these kids walking around in a city and their shadows are the Pokemon that they're gonna be. And it's like, oh my god, they're the Pokemon. I don't think they showed it. They might have showed like 10% of that ad might have been gameplay,
right.
But the entire selling point is you are Pokemon.
Yeah, that's the fantasy.
So that is like extremely significant. I mean, I look at these and it's like so many of these are just like, yeah, you're a Pokemon. Go do some Pokemon shit now. Little Pokemon.
And then we didn't talk about Battle Revolution.
I mean, what can be said for Battle Revolution that hasn't already be said? It's a perfect game. They're calling it a perfect game.
Did you ever like at the time play or like do battles online?
No, actually, maybe a single time.
Okay.
I remember being elated the one time I got my DS on there and I had a team that would actually work on the circuit. And instead of fighting with like the rental Pidgeotto team, I was fighting with my Lucario.
Nice.
And that was very exciting, I have to say.
Yeah.
It made me lose my mind.
I remember feeling similarly when I got to finally use my own guys instead of the rentals, but also taking my own guys online and playing against randos in Battle Revolution was stellar. It was the first time that like you could do battles.
Also, yeah, good point.
You could do battles in like Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Hercules, Silver, whatever. But Battle Revolution, still to this day, like it looks really good, and it looked really good at the time, and it was like
so good.
It felt, and like the announcer, like it just. They went above and beyond making those games, like battling was like the best it ever was in Battle Revolution. And I couldn't believe they didn't make another one in Gen 5 and they did make another one in Gen 6 and so on and so forth. And I guess we're finally getting it with Champions for what it's worth. But
whatever. Like, it'll never be Battle Revolution.
I know.
It'll never take my love from me.
Something about Battle Revolution was like really incredible. And as much as, again, this is definitely a spin-off, but it was so tied to the mainline games. And I am particularly fond for some of the gift Pokemon in Battle Revolution. Did you ever get the Electivire and the Magmortar?
I did.
Game? Nice.
I've made content about this, I fear, but negative, she says, but yeah, they're awesome. Like this Battle Revolution is awesome. And I think I was using, the last time I was playing Platinum, I was using that Electivire. Because like I had like 7 badges. I was like, shit, I need something better than the Yanma that I'm using. And sorry, Yanma, but Electivire saved the day.
When I start Gen 4, Battle Revolution is absolutely going to be a big part of it. Throughout, so I'm really looking forward to it, because I haven't really like actually played Battle Revolution since I was a kid. So I'm really looking forward to like experiencing it again with rentals and also with my own guys, and then getting some of those gift Pokemon again. But yeah,
well, you have to see all the sites.
Got to see all the sites. If it's there, then I gotta do it.
Yeah, you have to look. And God, there's so much beauty to look at in Battle Revolution. I mean, again, I think that like I have to reiterate that point of like, because of all of this, also, I mean, just like what a great time it was to just see Pokemon, and not like the creatures, but just like to see what Pokemon was and could be. And it's like, I don't know what's hiding here. Like, even though Battle Revolution like takes place on this, I guess like borderline fictional island that is like ever so arguably canonical, it's still like more tales from this universe where you get to look at the way that the universe could look. And it's just, I don't know, just more like when you're imagining Pokemon, this is just more fuel for the fire. And this was such a imaginative time, might be the best word. It was just so imaginative. There's so many scenarios.
I think so. I think they were very creative. And the devs, like besides Game Freak, the devs that were allowed to touch the IP, like did it justice. And this was the best time. If only we knew.
To call it a golden age, I think it is only fair to kind of talk about the tale that is maybe not as golden, LOL, by because one of the things that like I was just looking at my games on my shelf because I'm like, I don't know, one of my favorite things in life is objects and looking at them and saying, wow, that's a really good object. I do that all the time. The main reason I buy things, in fact. Yeah, I'm really normal, I know. But I was just looking at my DS games because I was like, wow, love these cover arts so much. This is awesome. And I pulled out Guardian Signs and just what a brilliant cover. What a brilliant game. This is awesome. And I remember very specifically thinking, I went to GameStop. I'm getting home from GameStop and I don't know, I wasn't like, I'm not in, I don't know. I'm like this is Guardians. This is 2011. I guess I'm 13 maybe when this happens. I didn't think this exactly, but I had a thought along the lines of like, wow, this is so cool. A third Ranger game, black and white are happening. It is a great time to be playing Pokemon, and Pokemon spin-offs they're in a golden age. We're in a golden age of the Pokemon experience. This is the last Ranger game that they ever made, I fear. And Gen 5 was good, but I don't know, I would really like to strive to be objective about this because there are some real gems along the way. But I do think this is very much when, I mean, like that imagination started to fall at the wayside, I guess. Because like, it's just like you said, like I got Guardian Signs, it's like, oh, sweet child, if only you knew how golden it was.
Well, I think they were relying almost exclusively on their series for spinoffs. And so part of what made Gen 4 also feel special is that the spinoffs were like new. And even as much as they did start to become serialized, even still within the generation, they continued, as much as they stopped making Ranger, they continued making a Mystery Dungeon, which is one of the worst games I've ever played. That's Gates to Infinity. They made another Rumble.
Whoa, what the hell? That was a crazy thing that you just said, that you like snuck into our show. We do not endorse the messages that Capreo just put on there.
Gates to Infinity is really, really tough to get through, I fear.
I thought it was fine. Whatever.
Rumble Blast and Rumble U. Poké Park 2, like they kept making sequels or kept continuing games in these series, for better or for worse. The only new,
we can say for better or for worse. I'm like, I'll live if you say that.
The only new idea and like new kind of game that came out in Generation 5 was Pokemon Conquest. And to me, Conquest is kind of the end of the golden era. How do you feel about that?
I think with like a lot of context, that's I'm very happy saying Conquest it was a great game. And I love Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem is another one of my other great loves. Just a very fun game. Conquest works for me for that.
I would include Conquest with like Explorers of Sky, the Ranger games, Battle Revolution, Ranch, as being like one of the standouts of Pokemon spinoffs within the golden era. It's just a lot of the other stuff in Gen 5 that released was more of the same in a bad way, or in my opinion, it was outright bad.
Well,
I don't speak for the show. I only speak for me. Okay.
Okay, right. We do.
It's coming out of my mouth.
This podcast does not endorse the messages of one of the podcast hosts, by the way. That's how podcasts work, famously. I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm looking at the list here and it's like, yeah, Conquest was a good game. And then there's like some cool accessories like Dream Radar and then a bunch of games in decline, perhaps. Because like, yeah, I enjoy Gates to Infinity, but I was surprised. And I was at an age where really, like, I never had a bad thought about a game. Like, I wasn't doing like any critical thinking, and Gates to Infinity confused me. I remember very specifically beating the game and being like, what? Wait, what?
I never even got that far, but I definitely like, I know exactly what you mean, where I was like pretty happy playing whatever I was playing. Gates to Infinity was maybe one of the first times that I like encountered a game and I was like, what the fuck? So
it's like, this was not the perfect 10 that every game I've ever played has been. That's really weird. I mean, obviously, like anything, they're throwing a lot of darts at the wall. I mean, after this, it's just like, I guess the 3DS is looking, I mean, per the just at a glance, and you know, I feel like this is like if you feel particularly strongly about anything, you should write us. But where was it? I had all the spin-offs. Oh wait. Like there were some hits on the 3DS. What do you think?
Yeah, I think like I wouldn't like say that like it was a resurgence by any means, but Super Mystery Dungeon at least is like a good Mystery Dungeon game, right? So like they righted that ship. Pokemon Art Academy is a great tool. They had a whole bunch of there was okay. Here's the thing about Gen 6 though, is there was a glut of puzzle games. And this had to do with the 3DS eShop.
They were gluttonous for puzzle games.
There is just entirely too many. And so, like, I, to this day, couldn't tell you the difference between Battle Troze and Shuffle. They may as well be identical. The best Pokemon puzzle game is Pokemon Picross, and I will die on that hill. And that was a Gen 6 game. They put out another Rumble.
It's a fun game.
They put out, and they did put out a couple, like, again, new ideas. They put out the first fucking Detective Pikachu in Gen 6. And then they put out the first fucking Pokemon fighting game on the Wii U. They put out Pokken Tournament.
I will ride hard for Pokken, which I believe is like, I just think like it's called Pokken. I feel like maybe I'm wrong about this, but like I heard it was like both a Pokemon spinoff and a Tekken spinoff, or maybe that's too cool. That's too cool. Like that makes me so happy.
Yeah. Pokken's sick. Detective Pikachu, I gotta be honest, I haven't played, so I don't know that. I don't know that I can fairly speak on that.
Pokemon Detective Pikachu super fans, please write this wrong.
Yeah,
please help. I don't understand Detective Pikachu.
They made a movie out of it, I guess,
and it was a good movie. I thought it was fine.
It was a good movie. But yeah, I don't know. It was a bit more hit or miss, I guess, for me in Gen 6.
And I don't even think I don't think that that's like I think that for I don't know, the supposition that like, oh, we have like nostalgia blinders on or something, like for one, maybe everybody does, but like I don't know, I would like cite the prices of these games now as to like Explorers of Sky, for instance, is like that way for a reason, maybe. Like it's $100-something spin-off game because people want to play it. That's because this one is good and highly rated from people. So like I don't think that this and there's also like some, I mean, Pokken was my favorite game for maybe a year. I would like, and oh my god, I had it on the Wii U. I couldn't get anybody to play it with me, and I was like, please play this game with me. And I have like my freaking gamepad in my hands. They're like, no, I don't really want to talk to you. Also, it's like, okay, that's fine. Like there were some hits in here, and I also like I binge Shuffle. I'll admit it. I went on a Shuffle bender. That game made me so mad. Yeah, but it was fun.
Here's what I'll tell you. I played one of them a lot, and I couldn't tell you like which between again Battle Troze and Shuffle. I played one of them a ton. It's your guess is as good as mine.
when did Shuffle? Okay, so Shuffle, which was a 3DS game, came out in February 2015 for the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came out as a mobile game that year in September.
Okay.
And that I don't want to like pick on Shuffle specifically for this because obviously there's a lot going on, but that may be the beginning of apps.
That was
like,
yeah, absolutely. There was a shift. And it feels like spin-offs, at least the way that we knew them, kind of went away in favor of apps for phones.
Yeah, like I don't even like I like phone games. Like I'm not even like I don't know like a damn kid's always on their phone. I'm spamming Uma Musume. I think that game is fun. I play a lot of games on my phone, but it's like I mean, you look at these games like piece by piece, and it's like, okay, this is a game that was cared about less. Like, it's a like, I don't know. I guess it depends on the person in the game, but it's like I feel like a relatively simple diagnosis for you to make. Like, if you play with something earnestly, you play a game earnestly, and it's like, okay, they don't care as much as I do, and I think that's kind of like maybe one of the most important, like, I don't know, realizations you can have when you play a game. Maybe of like. I feel like I guess this depends on how much you were giving the game. But if you give the game enough effort, like it will become clear if that effort was given in return. Like the game is very much a conversation, I think, because it is so interactive and like, oh, like you come up with like the things that you would have done differently or like, why is this here? Or like that would have been really cool to flesh out. Like just like thoughts like that. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I think that more and more with these games. I mean, like, and again, there's like hits here and there. We're both. If you ever played Pokemon Duel, mm-hmm. you know how I mourn that game and how I don't know. I mean, it's like it's like sloppy components to it, but like that was a full game. I could tell that mm-hmm. somebody was loving that game at least because the battle system was so fleshed out.
Mm-hmm. It had a whole story mode.
Yeah, which was, I mean, and like that game has an OST, which I just like sometimes I will sneak that on a video and it's like they don't know I'm listening to Pokemon Duel right now. It's just like it's I don't know, it's just there's hits here and there, but
totally. Yeah, I also don't want to like admonish like all of the Pokemon smartphone games at large. I put a lot of time into Magikarp Jump. I think we've been teasing and talking about doing a mobile episode for a while now. And so we're going to like dig more into the mobile games, I think during that episode.
We teased it so many times, like we just have to do it. Like,
it's going to happen. But rather than getting into all of the mobile games like this episode, I think we're going to save it for that time when we have our trusty producer with us. But just the shift, absolutely. Like Shuffle being on the 3DS, but also ported to phones. Absolutely. That marks.
This was the beginning of the shift.
Yes, 100%. And then I think Pokemon Go especially was like, oh, there's money there. And there's a lot of it.
Yeah, there's
so they followed that.
Money.
And it's not like we haven't gotten spinoffs ever since then. Like we've gotten I mean, on the Switch, there's a ton. There's Quest.
Are there?
Do you remember? Yeah. Do you remember Quest?
I did enjoy. I thought Quest was okay. Quest is also a phone game. I fear. LOL.
I know. Well, it's on both. We got Unite. That's a spinoff.
All right. Don't talk to me about Pokemon League. But
sorry. My bad.
I have played on my phone though. That was like one of the most surreal experiences I ever had. I was trying to play Unite on my phone, mm-hmm. and it's like the entire screen is covered with the buttons, mm-hmm. and there's 10 guys shooting each other on my phone at the mm-hmm. same time. It was I don't know why they made it a phone game. Whatever. It was like it's an interesting story, mm-hmm. at least. Whatever.
And they have rejuvenated old spinoffs on the Switch. They gave us a remake for Red and Blue Rescue Team and Rescue Team DX. And they gave us a brand new Pokemon Snap, which is kind of unbelievable.
It is. That's
people wanted that to exist on the Wii U because of the gamepad. It felt like it would suit that system really well.
It would have, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they got Bandai Namco to make a fucking gorgeous Pokemon Snap game. and it's excellent. So it's not like spin-offs are dead by any means. That's not what we're saying. But there was a period of time where it just felt special, and they were awesome.
I mean, it flourished so much. I mean, and I think like if you go by the numbers and the individual serializations that was happening, like there's just something undeniable about the DS, like the this surrounding of the DS of like, I mean, not even as like you could think all the games are bad, and it's like I still have to like I don't know, if I think all of these games are bad, it's like I still have to look at it's like, well, they made a lot of games though. Like there was all these extra series is happening and stuff. So
even thinking
clearly
about,
they were into it.
In the mainline games that existed in the 4th generation, they packed those games with mini games. It was just in the water at the time to make other shit with Pokemon. And if they wouldn't make an entire separate video game out of the Pokeathlon or whatever, they would fit it into one of the mainline games. And it just made the entire generation feel richer and more immersive and full and good. And it's why, again,
good.
It made the price. It's why the prices for these games are through the roof.
Yeah, because like I cite that very loosely, but like
it's indicative of demand. It's indicative of enjoyment. And
well, I know, I just like it's not. I think it's. I guess it would be maybe like not entirely causal to like say that this is like not indicative of nostalgia. But you look at like the like gold and silver are not as expensive as, and even like the golden like Gen 2 cartridges are not as popular as Gen 3 cartridges. For instance, I know, which is like there's so much context to all of this, but it's like there's like an apex point around these generate like 3, 4, and 5 of like, I want to play these games. I want to play these games. I want to play these games. I don't know. Maybe like the culture is shifting, like the tide is turning or whatever, but there is a discernible quality to this time period of, I think you're like kind of actually like you're again on the pulse of like something greater culturally of like an effort to universify with the like, I know, what is life but a series of mini games? Have we considered this? And they certainly considered it. Oh my goodness, let's take like Pokemon Sports inside of Pokemon Normal. How cool is that?
Pokemon Normal.
Pokemon Mainline, I guess, would be the biblical, the scholastic term, if you will.
Sorry, Pokemon Normal. It's Pokemon Dark Humor. You wouldn't understand.
Yeah, I don't think I would. I'm very, very Pokemon Normal.
So, what's your favorite spin-off ever?
Individual title?
Yeah.
Probably Guardian Signs.
Hell yeah.
I just like Guardian Signs. And if not Guardian Signs, Pokken. Pokken is such an awesome game. And I guess I want to give like a special shout to Pokken also, because in like, I don't know, Pokken feels golden to me because like there's a world or I don't know, it was just so, I don't know, cinematic is not exactly what I'm talking about, but like in beyond just being a fighting game in Pokken, I think very specifically of like, there's a city, one of the first stages, like the basic stage, it doesn't have anything weird going on at it, is like you're fighting in a city street. You're in the center, you're in downtown Main Street right now, and you've got an arena, and your Pokemon are 3D, they're moving the way that they do. Like first you just get to see them move. Like you're, I don't know, Pikachu going up against Lucario, and you get to see the way that like Pikachu like kind of like dive rolls around, and the way that like Lucario has these very fluid but also forceful motions of like, I don't know, kind of like waves crashing almost. Like Lucario like will do the, like when Lucario does like a force palm, it looks gentle in movement, and then it has like a very stiff landing, like it hits really hard. This is like, I don't know, these like fluid mechanics of motion. I appreciate Lucario. All the Pokemon that are in Pokken, I appreciate so much because of the way that they were mapped, I guess, in these games. But even further than that, in this stage specifically, and I guess like I saw people like making jokes about this, there is a city in the background that is not just a city, it's a Pokemon city. There's like a guy, I think there's a guy going to work with his Diggersby in the background. Like you can see a guy wearing a suit with a briefcase. He is clearly, I might be like imagining a meme or something. I probably have to look at the stage again of like, but like there are people in the background who look like they're going to work with their Pokemon and they're like, or they're just like passerby or something. And you're getting to look at downtown where like, I mean, a very similar thing, unsurprisingly, is like getting to see the stage backgrounds in like Tekken or Street Fighter. And there's like people just ambling around back there. And it's very special. It's very special to have something like that, I don't know, universe painting going on inside of the universe painting. So yeah, I love Pokken and I love Guardian Signs. Guardian Signs is just a cool game. Love Guardian Signs. I really liked Ranger and I felt like they got it the most right with Guardian Signs. I liked the story and I liked the mechanic of like being able to not capture legendaries, but like channel their energy every so often. And it was a very like rough and tumble adventurous world. Like I remember you're like flying through a thunderstorm on Latios. That's super cool. Yeah, give me yours. Give me your take.
Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire and Conquest.
Golden.
And they're, in my opinion, on like the beginning and end of that bell curve. Like either side.
It is a bell curve
of Gen 4. But they're my favorites.
They're the first and last standard deviations.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time, like before I had an MP3 player, I would play pinball in my DS and listen to, because it has the music player or the sound player in that game. So I would listen to the soundtrack of pinball on long drives, like before I had an MP3 player to listen to. I was going to say real songs, but you know, song like the popular.
These are real songs, okay? This is music. This is
music.
This is our...
You understand what I mean? So I'm extremely nostalgic for pinball. I've never completed the Pokédex in pinball, but that's something I would.
That's
like
really
to get
hard, but whatever.
I'm missing a couple. But yeah, I love pinball. I think like separate from it being a good Pokemon spinoff, it is also just like a really good like portable pinball game, like separate from the whole Pikachu of it all.
And these are just good games. Like that was like the other point of it. It's like it certainly doesn't hurt that these are just good standalone games. Like
yeah, that's
the whole reason that there can be a mystery dungeon person,
right? Is
that they like the game. Like it's like that game was also really good, and even it was Pikachu, but also.
Something I meant to mention earlier, but I guess I can mention now, and part of why I like Conquest is the first like kind of that game, like a tactics kind of game that I'd ever played, right? And I think Pokemon is like functions as an excellent onboarding for a style of game. Like before you play Chocobo Mystery Dungeon or Shiren the Wanderer, you should probably play a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, because it's going to introduce you to the mechanics of like how a mystery dungeon game, like a genre, like that genre, how it works in like a familiar setting where at least like you don't have to also learn all of the characters and all of the moves and stuff. Like you have, assuming you've played a Pokemon game before, you have some prior knowledge that you can now bring into this new context. Same thing for Conquest, where like it was so much less overwhelming because I like was familiar with some of the characters and types. So like, rather than trying to learn like the triangle of like, I'm going to get this wrong. Swords beat axes. Axes beat.
So far, so good.
Axes beat spears.
Yeah.
Spears beat swords.
They do.
Yeah.
Good job.
I'm a fucking genius. Anyway, rather than learning that.
He knows Fire Emblem.
Instead, you can just use the type chart from Pokemon that you're, again, probably already familiar with.
This is a really good point, because like I never thought about that before. Fire Emblem, while generally just more difficult, is so similar to not only Pokemon but Mystery Dungeon. Also, like there's I would just like not super similar games, but a lot of like decent similarities of like I don't know, I guess draw strategy from each other. But I would 100 times over say if I don't know if it's like going to be a bridge point or something, I would tell somebody to play Conquest before like I don't know FE7 or something, and then like use Conquest to get that to happen. Just because like I don't know, type advantages, it's Pokemon also like the onboarding just easier.
The potentially rude way to put it is that the Pokemon version of a thing is the baby's first version of the thing, but I that's not a negative thing in my book. It's just like an excellent way again to onboard you into a style of game, and then you can potentially become a fan of that style. Like you can get into Fire Emblem after you play Conquest, you can get into Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon, Cheer the Wonder, etc. after you play a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. And not to say that these games aren't like dead easy, or sorry, not to say that they are dead easy is what I mean to say. But again, they just make the amount of things that are new for you to learn fewer because you're familiar with some of it by way of it being Pokemon. Again, assuming you're familiar with Pokemon, it just makes it more approachable and less overwhelming, and that's a good thing. So anyway, I really like Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire and Conquest. And the Mystery Dungeons, of course.
I don't even think that like I don't know, maybe this is like another like how much time for context do you have statement, but like the baby's first thing I almost feel like is like everything that you said was true, and I feel like that isn't a gross oversimplification of how it works, because I don't know, at least in these games, like I think of like with I guess it's just like if you want to beat Explorers of Sky, or you want to beat Mystery, like if you want to beat Mystery Dungeon Blue, like I'm sending you to Purity Forest, and like I don't know, welcome to hell, like whatever, like haha, welcome to
sure, but that's
you don't even know what happens on the first floor of Purity Forest, I bet, dumbass. Like
but that's, you know, after you have spent more than enough time to actually learn and get better at the game versus like
yeah. But it's just, I guess, like specialization, I suppose, of like you can specialize within these titles. Like I think that they maybe like sit on the easy part of the curve for a pretty long time, but those like massive Conquest has one too. Conquest has I think a very difficult post game challenges.
I never did it. Like I rolled credits. For most of these games, really, I haven't really gone beyond the main story for them. Conquest, I might misremember this, but something tells me that maybe like once you beat Conquest the first time, then you could potentially play Conquest again as one of the other characters, and you could.
I think so. It has,
and you could
do that for a very long time. You could do that
for every character, maybe.
Yeah,
which is like that makes that game like 20 times longer.
Yeah, a little bit, maybe. I guess this is perhaps a spin-off of your point, if I will.
Oh, sure.
Just like I don't know, like I don't want to compare, but something that is evident in these spin-offs, and I mean generally the case, but like specifically evident in these spin-offs that what we're talking about is like a field of depth of like you can play Explorers of Sky, you can play Conquest forever, you can play Explorers of Sky virtually as long as you want and have like meaningful goals to be going up against of like, I don't know, Destiny Tower, the 5 different Isle Zero, or Zero Isle, I guess. Like all of those. I have spent, I don't know, maybe I'm particularly bad at these games, but they're hard also. And Rumble is the same way. Battle Revolution is the same way. Like it certainly might be repetitive, but oh my God, do these does the well run pretty deep with these games? Like there is no shortage of, if you like them, you can get extremely good at them and play them for a very long time. And they like ultimately will reward you with a much higher skill ceiling to play against.
I think it's worth noting when the spin-offs interact with the mainline games, particularly Ranger 1 getting you Manaphy, holy shit. It's not particularly future-proof, I guess, because, that's a whole thing, but...
Oh, it's terribly future-proof. Like, it's one per cartridge, and you can restart the game. Like, life sucks, kind of. Like, life is bad. Where's my Manaphy egg?
But at least at the time, like, doing that as a kid...
Oh, it was unbelievable. It was so cool.
I was like, I couldn't believe, that they even, like, spoke to each other. Even though they were both Pokemon games, you know what I mean? I was like,
yeah, because they're so different.
Yeah, and I was like, what do you mean? I can get, and like the Manaphy movie. Oh, forget about it. Anyway,
exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, just more. I mean, that is such a like. There is a lot of significance to that point. I mean, because like games, of course, but I mean, think about that. How that's not common. That's special. That is like, I mean, especially with like any other medium. I don't know, like a movie or a book or something. Like maybe, like I do remember like pissing my pants when, like, I don't know, Percy Jackson showed up in the Rome spin-off ones, the Roman gods one, and Percy's in the second book, and I was like, oh my god, it's Percy. That's like that is like a small version of this happening, but like it is like the same. We mentioned it briefly. It's like, oh my god, my DS is on my Wii, and Battle Revolution is happening with the creatures that were on my DS that are now on my Wii. What the hell? This is crazy. Like my mind is rending right now with this interactivity that's happening. So yeah, it's definitely significant.
And they've been really good about that basically since the beginning. Letting you put your Pokemon from Red and Blue into Stadium 1 up until like coming up this year, putting your Pokemon from Scarlet Violet and ZA into Champions, which is good. They're, if nothing else, they're incredibly good for that.
All right, well, thus was the golden age of Pokemon spin-offs. I feel like we got a really cool second win there, but I don't know, I'm tuckered out, I could say.
So, folks, let us know, like, I would love to know what your favorite spinoff is. Maybe there's one that we didn't give enough credit that, like, isn't maybe a part of...
I feel like, yeah, it's painfully likely, but...
Yeah, and fair enough,
Spread your love.
If you want to go to bat for Detective Pikachu, by all means. If you want to go to bat for...
Please.
For Pokemon Puzzle Challenge on the Game Boy, please, by all means. It does...
I'm
it
begging,
has incredible
actually.
Sprite work. That particular
Some
one.
of the best sprite work I've ever seen. Whatever, yeah.
And again, there like remains spinoffs to look forward to. I'm stoked for Pokopia. I don't care.
I'm really happy for you. It's gonna be good. Probably. Pokopia.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
I will maintain the cope in Pokopia. And I'm excited for Champions. And I'm excited for, well, the one thing that I've been holding out hope for years, actually, since they did the Mystery Dungeon DX remake for Red and Blue Rescue Team, I am hoping that they do like a Mystery Dungeon Explorers DX that is a remake of Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky, but they base it on Sky and don't do the BDSP thing of basing it on Brilliant Diamond and leaving out the Platinum stuff, or the Oris thing of leaving out the Emerald stuff. Like, actually base it on the good one, please. Anyway, I'm hopeful that sometime
you're a very needy player, I would say.
I'm needy and greedy, but I listen. If you don't make your wishes known,
that's true.
Then how can they be granted? So, yeah, I'm hoping at some point during like the Switch 2's life, we see an Explorers DX. That would make me thrilled.
That would make me very happy, but I think hope can only not... There comes a certain point when hope starts to hurt, I'll say.
For sure.
When the hope starts to punch back.
We're Pokemon fans after all. We're familiar.
Yeah. I'll get excited about anything. It's fine. Go outside and see the sky and get excited, so it's cool.
Yeah. You're surrounded by beauty.
Yeah. All right, folks, we made it. Remember, if you made it this far, to comment, "This was awesome. We're so awesome. What a great episode." really loved the feedback on that one last time. Some of you really came through for me, and you know who you are. I'm really appreciative of you. If you made it if you did so, I'm really happy. Let's keep the good vibes going. That's all we got for you this time on Petalburg Woods. Next episode, probably not the mobile game episode. That's all I can say about it right now.
Unless
probably
it is.
not.
I don't know.
But we could. It'll be a really good episode, though.
Yeah, it would be good to do immediately after this episode for the continuation of it. But we'll get around to it if we get around to it. Okay.
Until then, you can find us outside of the woods too. I am on YouTube at Droomish, and we're both streaming on Twitch at Droomish _ and at Capreo _. Let us know what you think about the show by leaving a review. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment your favorite Detective Pikachu game. Do all the good stuff. As always, leave your repels at home, and we will see you next time in Petalburg Woods. Bye-bye.
Bye, folks.
Petalburg Woods is hosted by Droomish and Capreo and produced by Girl Luigi. The theme music is by Capreo, and additional artwork is by Mo Paint Stuff. Let us know where you'd like to visit in the Pokémon Universe next, and email us at petalburgpod@gmail.com. Until next time, leave your repels at home, and we'll see you in the Petalburg Woods.